Hey everybody, it's Joe Artishorn. We just finished the first zip of the first camp of the first day of running the zip here at Whispering Ponies Ranch for the season, and I'm joined very briefly and informally by my beautiful mother, Nita Horn, and one of my longtime partners in crime, Jamie Woodle. Jamie goes way back to when we did this over 20 years ago at Camp Davidson, and we were just rapping about having finished our first group of young girls, and I would say probably half of them got stuck up here at the top of the crow's nest. You're also seeing the perch here. This is where the kids will make the decision to blast through their wall of trepidation and fear and enjoy the zip line, or to set a boundary and have that boundary respected by declining to zip after coming up to take a second look at it. And it was really interesting because Jamie, and I'll not put words in her mouth, she can say it for herself, she was just talking about her experience at Camp Davidson, where for the most part, 20 years ago, those kids coming in were not special needs. They did not have a history of known abuse, and how quickly they would just ravenously consume an activity like the zip line versus the young people that we're ministering to. And I'll have you guys step a lot closer because this audio is not going to catch what you say otherwise, but different, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's different. I remember running the zip line at Camp Davidson, and you'd have a few that were scared. Maybe you pray with them. You remind them how much weight these ropes and the equipment can hold, thousands and thousands of pounds, and that would be just enough reassurance, like, okay, I'm going to go. But these children are different. They have different circumstances. They have different fears, different experiences, and they have to make this heavier decision to break through this fear. And I think Joe handled it really well, talking about right here, this is the fear zone. You're gonna feel fear, and it's up to you to break through, but only you can do it. No one's gonna make you choose. And if you choose not to, that's okay too. You can set a boundary, and the grown-ups will respect that boundary. So it's a much different experience with these kids.
The other thing we talk about is getting stuck. It's very common. Yeah. Jamie saw this today. Yeah. You'll have a child who's been traumatized. You offer them the zip line, and they're too afraid to want to participate, but they also want to try it enough that they won't concede their position in line to the next child that might want to try. And so they're stuck. And sometimes this goes on 10, 15 minutes, and they've got a lot of voices. Counselors are cheering them on.
Oh, yeah. Right. Kids, you're counting down.
Yeah. Change gears. I don't want to show any of the little kids in the background, but they'll get stuck. They have enough anxiety that they are not trusting of us or the equipment. We're not going to coerce them. No pressure from us other than we're encouraging them to get out of this what they want. But they don't know what they want. And so they get stuck. Yeah. They don't want to give up their chance. They don't want to give up their slot, their moment in line, but they don't want to zip. Right. So we as facilitators, and I'm praying under my breath the whole time. I don't know how well this audio is coming out with the wind the way it is, but we as facilitators, it's a combination of praying that the Holy Spirit will have His way with the outcome, and the outcome doesn't always look like the one we want, because we want every kid to zip. But sometimes for them, it's more important to have set a boundary like we talked about, but also be a bit rescued. So here's the third kind of, if you were to organize this into different groups of thinking on this. When a child is stuck, you can verbalize instead of take away their place in line. Hey, you didn't pick, so you've lost your opportunity. How do you frame some kid that is stuck in a positive outcome? And that's where you verbalize things like, little Billy or little Susie. Sometimes in life, there's only so much time to make a decision. This might be a job, vocation. This might be an opportunity. Could be anything. And life's not waiting. So we run out of time, and it means that someone else has to step in and help you not be stuck. Because I can see that you're divided. Half of you wants to go. The other half of you doesn't want to go. And we're running pretty close to lunchtime, and there are other children that need an opportunity to go. So what I'm going to do, and then I'll make a decision, like we're going to have you go back down. We'll let some of the other children filter through, see how they do, and then maybe there's time at the end to give it a second go. Sometimes there isn't time. to give it a second go. Most of the time there is, but you're helping that child who is otherwise just filled with anxiety now. They're conflicted about whether or not they wish to zip, whether they feel stuck. And so we don't like children being stuck. And, 10, 15 minutes in, it becomes a negative experience. They've got voices down below trying to incentivize them to zip in all types of ways. We'll let you go first at lunch, or we'll race you to the bottom, or whatever. They're trying to incentivize and support. And then they've got us as facilitators trying to talk them through what Jamie calls our little bag of tricks to try to help motivate and encourage. But at the end of the day, a lot of these children just don't possess the ability at the moment to make a decision. And that's what some of these amenities accomplish. Right. This will not be the last chance they get all week to make decisions. There's still the rock wall, there's the swimming pool, there's outdoor, there's fishing down at the pond, and probably an effort tomorrow to give some of the children that missed out today a second go at it, if there's time on the group's end of things. So anyway, just wanted you to see some of the behind the scenes. We're up here in our newly roofed crow's nest. Last year we had umbrellas that the wind kept blowing off. Yeah. And anyway, but this is what it looks like from the crow's nest when you're sitting up here. It's only about 14 feet from the ground, but up here it looks a lot higher. And then down there, way in the distance, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a takedown ladder. And of course, I had staff there earlier. And yes, I am tethered in. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. I am tethered in so that even were I to bumble, I can only get about this close to the edge of this. Is very difficult. Trying to go portrait and do a selfie video. But anyway,
Spontaneous.
there it is. So wherever and however you're watching this, because we don't know where we're going to post it yet, keep praying for these little kiddos. But we're working. We're seeing the Lord show up. He's already doing things in the lives of these kids.
Yeah.
Very grateful.